This is episode 1993 of the Daily Meditation Podcast. I'm Mary Meckley, and I welcome you back to our series we're exploring this week, all about being productive in a crisis, such as we are experiencing with the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. You are likely isolating yourself. Hopefully you are. You might be in an area where the virus hasn't quite taken hold yet. Where I live in Tampa, Florida, we are self-isolating. All of this self-isolation can make you feel as though you're not getting much done, especially because experiencing this pandemic takes a lot of mental energy and also emotional energy. And one of the things that you can do for yourself as you continue living your new normal in this pandemic is to keep a productivity journal, and that is your challenge for this week. This is a type of productivity journal that has you doing more reflection rather than actually trying to set goals and get things done. In fact, as you go through this pandemic, be really gentle with yourself and realize that simply staying home and taking care of those you're with, being kind to each other, or if you are alone, simply making sure that you are keeping yourself safe, this is enough for right now. And you might be working as well, or you might have children you are homeschooling. And so keeping track of your emotions in your productivity journal can be a valuable tool to help give you perspective. Your biggest job now, the most productive thing you can do now, is to keep your emotions together. And so each night, if you could do two things, if you could reflect back over your day, the highlights of your day, not every single thing you did, and do this in reverse. So reflect on your day in reverse and notice those things that caused you stress. And don't take yourself too deeply into that stressful situation. Just notice that when you were watching the news or talking to someone, you felt really stressed and weakened. You felt disempowered. And just notice that. And then also notice what gave you hope, what made you feel better. Maybe when you exercised or worked out, that made you feel better. Maybe you watched a movie or read a book or listened to a podcast or a book on audio. Think about what really helped you to feel like things were going to be okay. Simply feeling reassured can be so vital to how well you are able to endure and manage your life through this pandemic. Eventually, it will end, and you are going to learn so many new things about yourself, about the world. We all are in this together. Try not to expose yourself to sad or frightening or upsetting movies or books or music or people or conversations. Instead, focus on what uplifts you. There's already enough uncertainty and fear going around, so you don't want to feed that or fuel it further. Your challenge 2 weeks ago was to create a sacred space for yourself. And this was a place for you to go where you could meditate, do yoga, listen to music, light a candle, and just relax. Someplace where you felt safe, like a safe zone. No negative thoughts in this zone, only beautiful, uplifting moments in this spot. So make sure that you have your sacred space. This is your retreat from all the chaos you may see going on in the world. In last week's series, you were encouraged to keep a hope journal where you recorded one thing each day that brought you hope. I encourage you to continue with the hope journal, and again, this week you have the productivity journal. If you're working, it's really important to try to avoid negative conversation. We all know what's happening around the world, right in our homes and neighborhoods. So there's no need to reinforce that as you work. Focus on the future. Focus on what you can do each day to move yourself forward. You can be a real leader for people who can't seem to yank themselves away from the news and all that's going on and conversation about what happened here and what happened there. We all need breaks from this, and so your work can become a nice break for yourself as long as you place those boundaries to not go into all this conversation talking constantly about the coronavirus. Focus on what you're building, focus on what you're creating, and reward and celebrate your big wins. This is a time for you to pay extra close attention to how emotionally balanced you feel. When you start to notice yourself becoming a little revved up, a little frightened and fearful, stop, and you can do the breathing technique for today. When you manage your emotions by calming your breath, it's one of the fastest ways to manage your stress. And the breathing technique I share with you today is very simple. I encourage you to do it whenever you feel yourself beginning to unravel. It's important to know what's going on with the news, but you can do that by checking the news once a day, maybe in the mid-afternoon. That way you're not starting your day with the news and you're not ending your day with the news. I'm sure that if anything major and massive is taking place, you will surely hear about it from others. So you're not missing much if you only check the news once a day. So this breathing technique, you can do it to any count you want. I'm going to share it with you to the count of 4. You will inhale and exhale through your nose. This keeps your breath soft and gentle and calm. When you breathe through your mouth, it's more energizing. So you want to breathe through your nose to keep your breath calm. You will inhale to the count of 4, hold your breath to the count of 4, and exhale to the count of 4. And you'll do this 4 times. Now again, I said if 4 times is too much for you, then go ahead and do it to the count of 3 or even 2. The coronavirus really impacts the lungs. And so the more you can strengthen your breathing capacity in your lungs, the more vital and healthy you will be. So you, again, inhale and exhale through your nose. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold for 4, exhale for 4, do it 4 times. I'll guide you through one round and then you take it from there. Remember, the full daily half-hour guided meditations can be found if you want to go a little more deeply into a series. The Sip and Om meditation app is where I share a daily guided meditation. You can try that app for 2 weeks, free access to the full app of nearly 2,000 meditations. So, the breathing technique: sit up straight, close your eyes, and gently uplift your eyes to the point between your eyebrows. This will uplift your thoughts. Now inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose nicely and evenly. 2, 3, 4. Now you do this breathing technique 3 more times. You are so worth slowing down for.